The bomb is about to go off at Hallis Hall, and I've got the gunpowder. We got 3 stories that are going to shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew about your Chicago Bears. And I guarantee that after this, you're going to look at the team through completely different eyes. First, a TV analyst just dropped the most brutal, unfair, and flat-out unhinged comparison you've ever heard about our starting quarterback. And when I tell you what it is, I promise it's going to boil your blood and make you want to yell at the screen. This isn't just a controversial take. This is a straight-up insult to the intelligence of anyone who actually understands football. Then we're going to talk about that explosive running back we were all desperately hoping for in the draft. The one Ryan Poles had circled in red on his board, who is now showing exactly why the Bears fought for him until the very last second. But here's the gut punch. He's out there shining in another jersey, torching defenses, and giving us a painful reminder of what could have been right here in Chicago. And to close it out, there's a flat-out war breaking out right now. At training camp, a battle that could completely reshape the hierarchy and depth chart of our wide receiver room for the entire season. We're talking about a fight so fierce it's making the coaches rethink their original game plans. Don't you dare move a muscle, because if you miss even one of these 3 bombs, you're going to be out of the loop in every Bears conversation. Next week, smash that like button right now and stick around till the end, because this just keeps getting better. Now let's talk about something that honestly hurts my soul as a die-hard Bears fan. Something that's going to haunt me all season long. Tre'Veion Henderson just showed in his pro debut with New England exactly why Ryan Poles and our front office were head over heels for him during the draft process. And you know what happened on his very first touch in the NFL? A 100-yard kickoff return to the house. 100 yards of pure explosion, game-breaking speed, the kind of playmaking that flips a game on its head in a single snap. Can you picture that kind of juice in our navy and orange? Here's the full story, and I'm giving you every painful detail. The Chicago Bears had Tre'Veion Henderson circled, underlined, highlighted on their second-round draft board. Poles and his scouting staff were in love with this kid for months. They did their homework, they broke down every game he played at Ohio State. They studied his versatility, his burst, his receiving ability out of the backfield. They knew exactly how he could supercharge our offense under Ben Johnson. But here's the heartbreaker. The Patriots snagged him literally just a few picks before we were on the clock in the second round. We're talking minutes, maybe even seconds, from having Henderson in Chicago instead of watching him ball out for someone else. And that's what kills me, because Poles clearly knew Henderson was the perfect complement to DeAndre Swift. He wasn't just another back. He was in that modern Jahmyr Gibbs mode, a 3-down threat who could run, catch, and kill it on special teams. Did you see that outside zone run against Washington in his debut? That acceleration, that instant burst through the hole, that ability to leave the secondary in the dust, that's exactly what we're missing in our run game. And then there's his ability as a receiver where he basically bulldozed the Commanders, defender after the catch. This isn't just a gadget back who disappears once defenses adjust. Henderson is a true every down threat with game-changing upside. And while it hurts like hell to see what could have been, it also reassures me that our front office can spot real talent. But the burning question, and I know you're thinking it too, is why Poles waited until the 7th round to grab a running back when he clearly knew Henderson was special. That's a decision that could come back to bite us if our run game doesn't live up to expectations. And now we get to the story that's shaking things up the most at Hallis Hall. The battle that has players, coaches, and fans completely locked in. We've got a flat-out war going on at training camp, and it could reshape our wide receiver. Depth chart for the entire 2025 season. Olamide Zaccheaus, the veteran slot receiver we signed this offseason to a 1-year, $1.5 million deal, is having such consistently explosive practices that he could keep our second-round rookie Luther Burden riding the bench way longer than anyone expected. During joint practices with the Dolphins, Zaccheaus was Caleb Williams' go-to target, including a ridiculous 70-yard touchdown connection that would have lit up the scoreboard if it were a real game. Now here's the bigger picture. Zaccheaus came over from Washington after the best season of his career. 45 catches, a personal best that proved his reliability in the slot. The signing made sense. A steady vet for depth. Then came the 2025 NFL Draft, and we took Luther Burden at pick 39. Burden arrived with all the hype, all the pressure, all the projections to make an immediate impact alongside DJ Moore. And Rome Odunze. The plan seemed obvious. Burden starts, Zacchaeus slides into a backup role. But Zacchaeus isn't giving up his spot without the fight of his life. And right now he's winning that fight. And this is exactly what we need. Real competition where nothing is handed out because of draft position. Zacchaeus has proven that experience, chemistry with the QB, and system knowledge can sometimes outweigh raw potential. Meanwhile, Burden is learning that in the NFL, you have to earn your snaps every single day. And here's the exciting part. The deeper and more competitive our WR room gets, the more unpredictable Ben Johnson's offense becomes. With multiple weapons who can score from anywhere, Johnson can go into full mad scientist mode. And that's a nightmare for opposing defenses. Even if Zacchaeus doesn't hold on to the job all year, just having him prove he's a real weapon makes our offense that much more dangerous. This battle is raising the level for everyone, and that's exactly what you want when you're chasing the playoffs, and more. You know what, Bears family? I'm flat out livid, fired up, and honestly insulted by what I just heard. Jason McIntyre, filling in for Colin Cowherd on the Herd, just committed what I consider the single worst piece of sports analysis of the entire offseason. Are you ready for the dumbest thing you're going to hear all year? This guy, this so-called football expert, had the nerve, the gall to compare our Caleb Williams to Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel. Do you realize what I'm saying here? Johnny freaking Manziel. I'm asking you with a straight face. What alternate universe does this take even make an ounce of sense in? Let me break down exactly why this has me so heated. I truly believe McIntyre is desperate for clicks, views, and social media attention, because this comparison doesn't have a leg to stand on. Not one. Here are the hard numbers, the cold facts that completely obliterate this nonsense. Johnny Manziel was an absolute disaster in the NFL. His best season, and I'm using that word loosely, was 1,500 passing yards. 1,500! That's what a halfway decent QB racks up in 10 games, not over an entire season. Manziel was out of the league by 2016, just 2 measly years after being a first-round pick for Cleveland. His career flamed out mainly because of off-the-field issues, substance abuse, lack of professionalism, and his total inability to take the game seriously. And Caleb Williams, we're talking about a completely different type of player with a completely different mindset. This kid has shown dedication, professionalism, and a commitment to excellence that Manziel never came close to in his entire life. Williams comes out of USC after breaking records, showing leadership under pressure, and proving he's exactly the kind of character we want in our franchise quarterback. McIntyre's claim that Williams has the same lack of pocket presence that doomed Manziel isn't just false, it's reckless and shows a total lack of knowledge about both players. And here's what really gets under my skin. Guys like McIntyre know exactly what they're doing. They know if they throw out some wild, outrageous take about Caleb Williams, if they push a ridiculous comparison, it's going to blow up on social media and get everyone talking. It's a cheap, desperate, completely dishonest play to stay relevant in a crowded media space. And unfortunately, after a take this bad, he's not only in the conversation, but he's the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. But here's the reality I'll lay out with full confidence. Real comparisons don't lie when they're made with honesty and knowledge, not the shallow context-free garbage you see from certain analytics outlets. I'm talking about full context, real football situations. And by every measure, Williams is in a much better position with a far stronger foundation than Manziel ever was. Let's pull it all together. The absurd Manziel comparison is a perfect example of why we as fans need to stick together. They're going to try to stir up doubt about Caleb Williams all season, but we know the truth. He has the tools, the mindset, and the right situation to be our franchise QB for the next decade plus. The Henderson situation is a painful reminder that every pick matters in the draft. Sometimes patience pays off, sometimes it costs you, and this time it hurt. But I still believe Poles has a bigger plan for the RB position. And the Zacchaeus versus Burden battle, that's pure gold for the Bears. Whoever wins is going to be ready to contribute, and Ben Johnson has the creativity to maximize every weapon we have. This isn't just another rebuild year. This is the start of building a true championship culture in Chicago. Now I want to hear from you, Bears family. Can Zacchaeus really hold off Burden for the whole season, or will Burden's upside eventually win out? Does that Manziel comparison tick you off as much as it does me? And was passing on Henderson a huge mistake or a calculated gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep dives, honest takes, and exclusive Bears news, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. This conversation doesn't end when the video stops. It keeps rolling in the comments. See you in the next one. Bear down forever.